I had early access to The Sims 4 for rent for the last 2.5 weeks, thanks to the EA Creator Network and the Sims team. And let me tell you, I had an absolute blast playing this pack. I really enjoyed this one. So I wanted to put together a little bit of a review video so that way you know what I like, what I don't like, what my overall thoughts are, and if I recommend buying this pack. So with no further ado, let's get into my honest thoughts on The Sims 4 for rent. I need to give a quick disclaimer, as the build that you'll be seeing gameplay from today is not the final release build of the game that people will be able to purchase on December 7th. The build that I'm playing is about 2.5 weeks pre-release, so take everything you're seeing with a grain of salt, and a lot of the bugs that you'll see or that I'll talk about will be fixed before release or in the patch after release. Let's start off in some people's favorite mode, and that is Creator Sim. I usually start these videos in Creator Sim, so let's not change the track record. Creator Sim in this pack was a little bit underwhelming in my opinion. When I first saw it, I was initially underwhelmed, and continuing playing with it, I still think I'm underwhelmed. Sure, it's not bad, but it's not outstanding either by any means. I definitely think I prefer the cast in Horse Ranch to the cast that we got with For Rent, which is weird for me to say because I wasn't at all excited about Horse Ranch, whereas I'm really excited about this pack. One thing that I definitely do have to give them praise for, that I also gave them praise for in Horse Ranch, is the selection for male Sims this time around. It definitely feels like the tides are starting to turn a little bit in terms of the items that male Sims are getting. For a long time, whenever I'd make a review video or people would ask my thoughts about the cast in a pack, I'd always say, male Sims didn't get enough again. Now, for the last 2 packs in a row, male Sims got at least at the bare minimum an equal share, which I really like to see, because like even my custom content for male Sims sucks. Like I just simply do not have a good quality share of that, and I really don't like that. And I'm glad to see that the times are starting to change a little bit, and I hope this is a sign of things going forward for Sims. There's a couple pieces that I really like in cast. Like I really enjoy this top. This hair is really nice. These shoes are definitely a standout of this pack for me, absolutely. But mainly the standout pieces are in hairstyles this time around. Like I really enjoy this one. These two I really love as well. This one's a nice simple hairstyle, and this one as well. This is one of the new hairstyles that you get. I really enjoy this one, and I also really enjoy that one. Not the biggest fan of that one myself though, but I definitely love these two a lot. You have some nice full body outfits as well. Like I really adore this full body outfit. It's got some great colors on it too. That's got a lot of use outside of the world of Tomarang in this pack. I really enjoy that one and this one as well. And the other ones that I like are this one and this one. So the outfits are definitely a lot better in my opinion than the standalone tops and pants and stuff, but still could have been better. What ultimately saved the Creator Sim aspect for me is the traits and the aspirations. Let's talk about those two now. You've got a great selection of traits with 5 in this pack, which I'm so happy to see. For a long time, we only got like 1, 2, maybe 3 if we were lucky, whereas we got 5 this time, which is huge. I love that. So the traits you have are Child of the Village, Wise, Cringe, Nosy, and Generous. 5 beautiful traits. I do need to note that Wise is an Elder exclusive trait, which absolutely makes my heart so happy. For the longest time, I've been asking for Elder exclusive gameplay that you can't get on other life stages because Elders are so lacking. They're just like grayed up versions of adults that don't work, which is like, and can't have kids. So like, they're kind of boring. I really hope that an Elder exclusive trait with this pack is a sign of things to come in the future, and that maybe we stand a chance in, you know, maybe within the next 12 months, a little bit longer, to get something Elder related, whether it be an Elder base game update, an Elder expansion pack or game pack or something. That's definitely next on my list of like wants and wishes for this game, I think. The Child of the Village trait is slightly annoying. I understand why it's in the pack. It's definitely a good quality trait if it works, but it doesn't really function super duper well, unfortunately. Child of the Village basically means that like your sim is in tune with Tomarani culture and wants to be in tune with Tomarani culture and their family literally all the time. So, and when I say literally all the time, I mean literally all the time. If they are not in tune with their culture for a period of a few hours, they're going to get tense and they're going to get angry and they will be unhappy, and they're just going to make your life as the player miserable, which sucks. So I probably won't use Child of the Village much beyond like this early access period because it's just not a fun trait to use. If you use the Child of the Village trait, you can release the Sky Lanterns whenever you're outside, which is really cool. I love that a lot. The Tomarani introduction's really cool, and the Tomarani twist as well that you can do with dancing to speakers and stuff like that is super cool. But yeah, again, I think for the pain and sheer pain of having to like constantly try and make your Sims happy, I don't know if the trait's worth using personally. Cringe and Nosy are heaps of fun to play with. I've used Cringe and Nosy on virtually every single Sim that I've played with almost. And like, Cringe is just so much fun to watch your Sim go up to other Sims and spout memes. And these little diagrams pop up of like what they're watching and like what they're talking about. And like Buff Yamachan shows up and you've got like the ghost from Paranormal with like this weird like OMG face. There's like a Pika meme in there. Like they've taken like all like the popular pop culture memes like around the Sims and like outside of the Sims and applied them to the Sims franchise. So that way the Sims can spout memes. Cringe Sims will randomly break out and dance as well, like all the time. Like you can just be sitting there and they'll do nothing and then they'll just start dancing with no music. They can do the blick block dance and they can just dab randomly on cue. I had my main Sim who's using Cringe. She was making food in the kitchen and while she had it in the microwave, I think she just dabbed while she was cooking and I didn't even tell her to do that. So like, thanks whoever included that. Thanks for the pain. Nosy, again, is really, really fun. Sims will literally autonomously pry for secrets if you leave them alone talking to someone for too long. And it happens virtually every time I'm talking to somebody. My Nosy Sim will just straight up go up and pry for secrets straight away without me telling them to do it. And I get a new secret unlocked almost every time. The Nosy trait allows you to spy with binoculars from a distance at people and whatnot. So I definitely like that as well. I think Nosy's a great one. Let's talk about aspirations now. You have a great selection of aspirations with 4 in this pack. You have Fount of Tomarang knowledge, which basically means like it's more of a flow on kind of from Child of the Village. You know, you want to be in tune with Tomarang and, you know, do all the things that Tomarang has to offer. You have a discerning dweller, which is like to be the best tenant possible in a residential rental. 5-star property owner, which wants you to, you know, basically make the most money and have the best properties and stuff like that. And the other one's under the deviance category, which is seeker of secrets, which is like for the Nosy Sims, it's a flow on from the Nosy trait. So that way your Sims can like, you know, have all the secrets and possess all the secrets and stuff. I haven't played with all of them. I think I've actually only played with Fount of Tomarang knowledge a little bit and mainly 5-star property owner because that's kind of where I've been sitting in terms of like gameplay at the moment. But I definitely want to play a little bit more with these on full release. But 5-star property owner is a good one, definitely. So to summarize Creator Sim, it's good, not great, and the only part really making it not terrible is the traits and aspirations for me. Again, that's my personal opinion. You may completely disagree, and that is fine. I just was a little bit underwhelmed compared to what I was expecting for this pack. Moving on to the next section of this review, let's talk about build buy. Personally, one of my favorite parts. I've not thrown down every single build buy item on this lot. I've just thrown down a vast majority of them so I could kind of visually see and demonstrate for this video as to kind of what is in it. But I really like build buy in this pack. Initially, I was really concerned about build buy because I didn't think from the trailer that there was going to be a lot of items that I was going to love to use. I am super happy with build buy. If you watch my speed build, which will be linked below and in the cards above, you'll see a lot of this furniture actually getting used in the speed build video. And I absolutely had a ton of fun discovering all of the great items from this pack. Most of the items are geared towards residential rentals. And I think that's obviously to be understood considering that's like the main gameplay feature of the pack. Like you got the mailboxes and like 3 different variants of mailboxes with the big like mailbox that has like I think 32 boxes on it or something like that. You've got this cool new toilet, which obviously everybody kind of went nuts about when it was shown in the trailer. It's really funny watching a Sim do that and hold their baby at the same time. Having to squat and hold their baby. It's a real fun thing. Didn't expect the addition of a hot tub, especially as nice a one as this, which was really cool. This mini fridge is super duper dope. Love the mini fridge. And the addition of kettles as well that match like the fridges like this is stunning. Love it. You got a lot of great rugs and decorative items such as plants and little things to go on your tables. This little dish one here is one of my favorites personally. I absolutely love this one and we'll be using it in virtually all of my builds going forward. I'll take the opportunity now to talk about the radiators and the air conditioning unit over here. These actually have gameplay effects. They're not just decorative wall items. So in gameplay, if you go into the live mode, you can click on this and turn it on and it actually will spin and work and make noise, which I was not expecting in the slightest, but that is so cool to see that doing that. If you don't own the Seasons expansion pack, it won't do anything for weather because there is no weather function in the base game. But if you own the Seasons expansion pack, the both air conditioning unit and the radiators will have effects towards your Sims. I can't say definitively what they are because I haven't played it with Seasons, but I do know that they do have gameplay effects thanks to some of the Sim gurus who shared that insight with me. They teased us with a tuk-tuk, and I hope this is a tease of things to come in the future, and maybe we get a car or something. That'd be nice, but I'm not holding out hope. It's even got a lock on the front to just tease us a little bit further, being like, "Ha, you were so close, but not close enough." The flooring and walls in this pack is absolutely stunning. Like, this wood floor is really, really nice. It's basically just a simple take on like the base game one that you have. It's very similar, but it's not the same. Not the same. It's got a lot of the same kind of colors on it as well. So you'll see that one's like kind of the same color, and like that one's the same color. They're not the exact same colors, but like they're very close to the same color, and they're very close to the same kind of pattern as well. These pastel wall colors are absolutely, I think, probably my favorite thing from Build By, aside debug, which I'll talk about in a minute. The pastel colors are absolutely stunning. Again, if you saw my speed build, you would have seen that I built using the pastel colors, and they are absolutely glorious. I'm always a lover of just simple colors, and this has got like a nice like concrete stucco texture to it, which I really, really love. And there's tons of fantastic swatches on it. I use it both inside and out with for rent builds. I've had a lot of fun with it. I also love that we got a great selection of fences too in this pack. I don't think we have a great selection of fences currently, and this pack brings a great selection of fences IMO, so I'm really happy to see some good fences and some good gates included too. I need to show you some of the debug catalog in this pack, and I have to change saves to do that, so give me a moment. So this is a build that I made in Willow Creek that has 10 units on it. I'll talk about like going over the 6 unit cap in a short bit, but I want to show you debug. All of the plants you see on this lot now are debug, and I love it so much. I'll be sharing this build on my gallery page once the pack goes live, but oh my goodness, I love the debug in this pack. These trees are also debug that have the lights around them too, and these little lanterns that you see are also debug, and that one's also debug. The debug catalog, I haven't really even touched probably half of it yet, and I absolutely want to go on record and say I think this is my favorite debug catalog that we've gotten to this date. I love it so much. OMG. My only criticism with this pack that I think I could say is probably that I would have loved to have seen something for pools. Given that there is a pool party social event, I would have loved to have seen something for pools for me to make a nicer looking pool. Because I'm playing this with only for rent and base game, I don't have any of my custom content or any of the other pack content. So there is therefore nothing for pools other than what's in the base game. So I definitely think it's a missed opportunity to not include something for pools. So overall, I really love Build By in this pack. I think it's much better than what we got with Horse Ranch. And I really liked what we got with Horse Ranch because I think this has a little bit more wider appeal than just being used in country western builds. You know, obviously this one's going to be a little bit more like a lot of it's going to fit perfectly in the world of Tomarang, but a lot of it's also going to fit really well in worlds like Oasis Springs as well, and a lot of it's got, you know, applicable colors and textures to fit in other worlds like Strangerville, Willow Creek, and whatnot as well. For the next part of this video, let's talk about the beautiful world of Tomarang. This is the world of Tomarang that comes with The Sims 4 for rent, and I must say it is an absolutely beautiful world, but big but it is too small for me, honestly. I'm not going to sugarcoat it anymore. I've been a little bit more reserved in what I've been saying the last couple of days, but I've come to this conclusion when I was writing my notes for this video that the world is a little bit too small for an expansion pack. The world, as I said, is absolutely beautiful. It is absolutely stunning and glorious. I love it so much, but it needs more lots. There are a total of 2 neighborhoods with Morensong over here and Kosapa over here. And there are a total of 9 lots across those 2 neighborhoods. And only 2 of them, this one and this one, are residential rentals. And 2 are community lots, a national park and a lounge. I think personally, it should have been 11 or 12 lots myself. I think definitely we needed at least 1 huge lot. The biggest lot we have is Rokea Rockside, which is 40 by 30. Not a terrible size, but it's not enormous either, which was really disappointing. I wanted a 50 by 50 or a 64 by 64 because I felt this was the perfect pack to include that in, especially given that you could have like so many apartment units on one lot. I built a 64 by 64 lot prior to the release of this pack, thinking that we would get a 64 by 64. and we didn't. So I think it needs a 64 by 64 or a 50 by 50 for it to be amazing. I think it probably needs another smaller lot with like another, you know, residential rental pre-built onto it, because there are only 2 residential rentals pre-built. That means you have to build the rest of them. And a lot of people that play this game, like I talk in my Twitch chat, my TikTok chat, a lot of people don't like building and will just simply go to the gallery for builds. Or some people won't even go to the gallery for builds. So I think they probably should have included a smaller lot, say like this size, which is a 20 by 20, that had a pre-built residential rental on it. That's definitely one of my opinions on it. And I also think there should be one more community lot as well. So that brings you to 12 lots. So I think it probably should have had 12 lots. I could have lived with 11 if you didn't include the community lot extra, but I definitely think there should have been at least 11. I'm not complaining about like the lack of lots in the sense that like the world feels empty. At times it feels like there's not many Sims around. You don't have that problem on residential rentals with like shared spaces. That's not a problem. But like the night markets that I went to, which are over here in the Morrinsong neighborhood, just around here by the fish market, which I'll talk about in a second, just feel a little empty at times. You kind of have to go to like the park and stuff up here to really kind of get into like the territory where Sims are. And I would have thought Sims would have been around the night market at night when it opens after 6 p.m. But apparently not. They're not interested. The national park is usually fairly empty as well, which is kind of sad. The lounge usually has a few good Sims in it, but again, like it's not the nicest lot in the world. There were no community creator builds for this pack. It was purely EA builds, but due to the complexity of introducing multifamily lots, they just simply didn't have enough time to be able to have somebody enlisted to build lots for them. So it is all purely EA builds this time around. So I do need to give them praise for that. They've done a lot better with the EA builds for this pack than in previous. The world itself, as I said, is really, really nice. You have a little cave rabbit hole over here. There is a temple rabbit hole over here. And then just here, you have the tiger sanctuary rabbit hole as well, which I really enjoy all these rabbit holes, especially the tiger sanctuary and the cave. I haven't played too much with the temple, so I can't definitively say if I love the temple or not. But the tiger sanctuary and the cave are really cool and definitely worth exploring. You get little rewards and stuff out of them as well. So let me actually show you the world now, starting with the national park in Morrinsong. This national park is really beautiful and really gorgeous. I love it a lot. Like these little planter areas over here, I love a lot. I'm assuming this is all debug content. I didn't get to it fully, but I absolutely love this kind of like fields and fields of flowers look. Like it's actually so stunning. I love it so much. But the national park lot doesn't really kind of have a whole lot on it. It's literally just this little square box here and this got kind of nothing on it. It's just kind of going to be used as your access point to the night market over here, which is all it really will ever be. Speaking of the night market, this night market is absolutely beautiful. I've just changed it over to nighttime so that way you could actually see it in all of its glory. The night market is stunning, truly. I absolutely love the aesthetics of it all, the colors. It feels so bright and vibrant. My only gripe with the night market is there is only a couple of stalls that are actually interactive. You can also visit the fish market just here as well. It's a rabbit hole. It's like, you know, the grocery stores and stuff. It's like a rabbit hole. Nice looking building at night, especially. But again, I don't really see the point of this myself because it's just a place to buy fish and fishing skill books. I know it fits into the world really well, but yeah, I won't probably be getting much use out of the fish market at all. You can buy fresh fish if you're needing fresh fish and you just don't want to have to go fishing for it. So but here's the other park in the world. This is next to the residential rental lot that is owned by the sim in the trailer. This park's gorgeous as well, and it's got a little marbles spot for kids to play with as well, which is really nice. Love kids-based activities in like communal spaces. This temple is gorgeous as well, beautifully aesthetic. You'll recognize this from the little teaser that we got. Again, you've got like a beautiful little downtown like center area with the little lotus light in the middle around the roundabout. I just think it's gorgeous and it's absolutely amazing. I really love this world a lot, and it honestly could have become my favorite world if there had been like 11 lots. If there was 11 lots, it probably would have been my favorite world, but unfortunately I can't call it my favorite world because it just simply doesn't have the number of lots a modern pack requires. Overall, the world is really stunning. I really love it visually a lot. However, I think it needed more. It needed more lots. It needed more Sims in it. I just think that's what's bringing it down a little bit. If I had to give the world a score, it probably gets like an 8, maybe a 7.5, potentially, probably a 7.5 now that I think about it. But yeah, I think it needs more Sims in it, and it needs one or two more lots, definitely a big one at least, but I definitely think it needs more pre-built residential rentals as well. Let's now move on to the final section, and that is gameplay. This is the big one, so grab a snack, get ready. This is going to be a bit. Gameplay is what really sells this pack, and I love that, especially coming off the back of Horse Ranch, because Horse Ranch's gameplay, while good, didn't feel like there was enough gameplay in that pack for me to justify spending like $50 on a pack. Whereas with this pack, I definitely feel like the residential rental system delivers really, really well on what was promised. Converting builds to residential rentals that you've already built ahead of time or will build in future and want to convert is really simple. You simply just click on the room and you just choose the drop down box and you change it from shared to the unit space that you want it to go to. I don't know if it could have got much easier than that, honestly. Like, pretty impressed, honestly. Shared spaces really do a great job of negating the fact that there is a loading screen between apartments on or units on your same lot. I do have to break the bad news to you. Yes, there is a loading screen between each unit or apartment. I was kind of expecting there to be a loading screen, was never kind of anticipating no loading screen. A no loading screen would have been nice and lovely, but at the end of the day, loading screens are so far coded into this game, it's ridiculous. Like, it would be literally, you'd have to rewrite the game from the ground up almost in order to like successfully take a loading screen out of a unit to unit transition. The loading times haven't been too bad as well. Granted, I'm only playing with For Rent and base game, the latest update, and no mods or custom content, so I can't say definitively how it is without any of the other bits, but it's been pretty good, pretty seamless, pretty quick. You just simply go up and knock on the door once you've loaded on and you're over there. But as I said, shared spaces do a great job of like negating the fact that there's a loading screen, because at the end of the day, I don't really need to see into your apartment like I did in The Sims 3. Like The Sims 3, I could literally go to the other side of the map and see what like Malcolm and Landgrab and stuff are doing like at any time that I wanted to, like peep on them and see like what's going on in their lives, like from all the way on the other side of the map in my tiny little house, which didn't necessarily feel right. Whereas with this, like it gives the Sims some privacy, so like they can do whatever the heck they want to do. But also the shared spaces, you know, they will regularly come out of their homes or their units and interact in the shared spaces, especially if you build something that's got like an activity or, you know, like a barbecue, a pool area or something like that. They will come out and they will hang out all the damn time out there. They'll also come over and knock on your door all the time and like try and strike up a conversation as well, I found, which, you know, gets a little bit annoying at times, but I don't really mind too much. I'm all for like more interactivity with the other Sims to make the world feel a bit more alive. You might be asking what's the difference between this system and say like apartments from City Living or the apartments that we got in Eco Lifestyle. In City Living, the apartment complexes that you have where you like share a hallway or whatever, Sims you only really see coming and going from like work or something like that, or you see them like throwing their trash out, or you see them like collecting their mail or whatever. You don't really see them much more than that. Whereas with this, if you have like defined shared spaces, you'll see them all the time, especially in their backyard. Backyards have to really kind of be set up as shared spaces if you have a backyard in order to like function properly. Just don't put another entry point on it, otherwise all the Sims will go into it and that will be a bit annoying. Like I can be in the apartment 3 of my speed build video and I can look down into the backyard and see what they're doing in the backyard, the Sims that like live below me in my apartment complex, which is really nice. I can't see into their house and see what they're doing in their house, which is fine. I don't need to see that. But yeah, no, Sims will actually come out all the time. And they'll hang out and they'll do activities in their backyard. They'll cook food if they've got a barbecue in their backyard or whatever. You know, they'll do all sorts of things. If you give them the activities to do, they will do it. They will mingle. They will socialize. You also have a property owner who will literally come over anytime you call them for literally the minorest of things. Mold gameplay is fun, but it does get a bit tiresome pretty quickly. So I probably will be turning mold gameplay off unless I want to play a chaotic save, which is quite possible that I could want to do that. Mold progresses really, really quickly in gameplay. So if you're not like on top of it immediately, like you're so busy in your gameplay, you've got so much going on, your Sims are at work all the time, your Sims will probably, you know, not be around for too much longer if you let that mold pile grow into toxic mold pile with little fungi growing out of it. So I do definitely recommend trying to fix that mold pile as quickly as possible. The mold death, by the way, is like super over the top, super Sims 2 energy, and I love that so much. Thank you, Sims team, for including something that is so Sims 2 energy. I really enjoy playing from the property owner perspective. It's super simple to like fill vacancies and to like manage your properties. You get called in all the time for like a water leak or like dirty spaces or whatever all the time to like the other units that you own. So just do be prepared for that. So if you give your sim a job and like they own property on the side, do be prepared for like having to potentially like go over all the time and have to fix a water leak or whatever, because you are also the maintenance person as well. So having the handiness skill is definitely going to be beneficial to you, I think. Your owner-tenant relationship I found to be a little bit important in my gameplay time. Positive relationships and maintaining the positive relationships with tenants is really important. Tenants revolt literally all the time. I had tenants revolt literally one day into a lease. I don't know why. The apartment I built them was beautiful. I don't know why. Maybe because it had mold. I don't know. But then the entire complex revolted on me, and only one place had mold, not all of them. Anyways, yeah, but they revolt quite quickly. They get angry quite quickly. So just do kind of be mindful of that like try and keep on top of that relationship. It is going to almost be like, you know, parenting a child, but parenting your tenants essentially. Which is a weird concept and a weird sentence to say out loud, but here we go. You can only evict your Sims when it's justified. Please don't unjust evict your Sims, because you will lose a ton of money and you will lose a unit rating, which then means you lose more money because you can't charge more money for your rentals. So do be aware of unjustly evicting your Sims. Again, you got tons of gameplay in the Tiger Sanctuary, which is super fun. I love the Tiger Sanctuary a lot. Didn't expect a Tiger Sanctuary included. Unfortunately, it's a rabbit hole, so you don't see any tigers, but if you like adopt a tiger, you get this like cute little tiger plushie that your Sims can pet. It's like super adorable. I love it so much. The cave again has a lot of like great rabbit hole content for you. It's kind of like Dungeons and Dragons, make your choice kind of stuff, and I love that. There is a lot of reading in the cave though, so if you don't like reading, avoid the cave. That was my instantaneous reaction when I first saw the cave. I was like, oh my god, I don't like reading that much, and there's so much reading to do. If I wanted to read, I'd go read a book, not play The Sims. You can host like pool parties and potlucks as well as a social event in your apartment unit complexes. I haven't gotten to that yet. I'll probably get to that in the next couple of days, but like they seem super cool, and there's some cool rewards with it. There's a cool grill if you get the gold medal on the potluck, and there is a cool float lounger if you get the gold medal on the pool party as well that you unlock. But yeah, I really enjoy the gameplay in this pack. I think like, yeah, I really enjoy the gameplay a lot. The multi-unit system, honestly, I said this to somebody who asked me yesterday in my Twitch chat. I would have purchased this pack purely for the multi-unit residential rental system and nothing else. The rest of the pack could have been god-awful, and as long as the residential rental system was done right, I would not have cared. I would have paid purely for the residential rental system, and they've done that very, very well, which honestly makes this pack so worth it to me. There is a lot of gameplay to do, and there's a lot of gameplay that I also haven't gotten the chance to explore yet, and I'm really excited to explore. So overall, gameplay is really solid. Definitely recommend exploring as much as you possibly can. So that brings about an end to like the actual review of contents in this video. Let's now summarize my overall thoughts and give it a score. I am really, really happy with this pack. Sure, Cass is not great, not amazing. The traits in it and the aspirations really sell Creator Sim and sell the vibes, and I love that a lot. Really stunning. There are some stunning pieces in there, but the vast majority of it, I just simply don't think I will ever use. Build by, absolutely stunning. As somebody who spends most of their time either playing the game or building in The Sims, I love build by a lot, especially debug. I think debug is a fantastic range in this pack. Definitely probably the best debug I think we've ever gotten. And there are a lot of items as well that have a lot of function too, which is great, such as the AC unit and radiator, and they have cross-pack gameplay with seasons. I love. The world is like the other thing with this pack that disappoints me alongside Cass. The world is a little bit too small, but absolutely stunning and beautiful. The world is just so gorgeous, and I love it so much. The night market, the plants, the national park is gorgeous. That area, the area around the homes and the residential estates and things like that in there, the tiger sanctuary, the cave, the temple, all of it is so beautiful and so gorgeous and glorious. I love it so much. I just really wish there was 11 or 12 lots with one more community lot, one more big lot, and then one more small lot. That's probably what I would have really liked to have seen. The gameplay in this pack is really great. Multi-unit residential rentals delivers on exactly what it was promising to do, of creating like alive lots with like several families on it at one time. shared spaces feel vibrant and really negate the problem with having a loading screen between units. I know a loading screen between units isn't necessarily ideal, but I think it definitely does a great job of kind of just making you not focus on the fact that there's a loading screen, because it makes it feel like you can just like invite your sim over like all the time, or you could like go and interact with them in the hallway whenever you want virtually. Building residential rentals is super easy, super simple, nothing too over the top or complex with that, and I love that so much. As somebody who is a builder, I wouldn't find that challenging, but as somebody who is not a builder, I don't think this system is too overly complex to where if you're there, I think there is a really low barrier to entry with a residential rental, and I love that very much. I honestly think overall this pack is my second favorite pack in the game altogether, next to Cottage Living. Previously to that, it was probably Growing Together, followed by Seasons. I think this pack takes number 2. If the world had been better, it probably would have taken number 1. The world is really the part that is pulling this pack down for me in terms of like why I think it's not deserving that number 1 spot. People that watch my streams or that talk to me about packs will understand how much I love Cottage Living. So for me to say that it's like right next and right up there with Cottage Living is a huge statement, I think. So for my score with this pack, I think I'd give it a 9. I can't give it a 9.5, and I'm always hesitant to give like perfect scores whenever I score something. I'm always hesitant, but I think it gets a 9. Cass is a little bit disappointing, as I mentioned, and the world just feels a little bit empty compared to what I would have liked. So Cottage Living sits on a 9.5 for me because, again, it's not a perfect pack, but it is my favorite by far. Growing Together got like an 8.5 from me. So like this slots right in the middle and therefore takes over from Growing Together. I'm going to get a lot of use out of this pack. I'm going to get a lot of use out of residential rentals, and I'm really excited about that fact. I am so happy that we've gotten 3 stellar quality expansion packs this year. I'm like so happy about that. So thrilled to be a part of the Sims community right now. I think 2023 heading into 2024 is like the best time to be a part of the Sims community. The content that we're getting at the moment, they're listening to the community now. I'm interested to hear your thoughts as to what you think about the expansion pack, whether or not you're watching this after you've purchased or you're watching this prior to having purchased, what your thoughts are. Let me know in the comment section below. I'd love to chat with you about your thoughts about it and as to whether or not we agree, disagree, or whatever. Let me know what your overall score is as well out of 10, because I am definitely keen to hear other people's thoughts on it. So overall, do I recommend purchasing this pack? Absolutely. Definitely think it's probably going to be one of my must-have packs going forward. I'm so happy that it was done very well. So happy. Alrighty, that's where I'm going to wrap up this video. I've been talking for almost an hour recording, so I don't know how long this video is actually going to be. Hopefully not that long, lol. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. If you found the video helpful in deciding whether or not you're going to purchase the pack, make sure to give it a thumbs up and let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, along with subscribing to the channel if you're new and turning on your notifications so you don't miss a single one of my Sims 4 for rent videos and any of my Sims 4 content going forward as well. I really appreciate your support today. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to go check out my speed build and other videos as well, such as how to build a residential rental. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, bye bye.